Today's June 30th, 2023, and as of 5 p.m., I'm officially finished with my gastroenterology fellowship and my formal medical training. It's crazy. I started medical school 10 years ago at the University of Missouri on August 1st, 2013. And fittingly, on August 1st, 2023, I'll be starting my first job as an independent physician at ESSA Health here in St. Louis. Now, I thought it might be fun and hopefully interesting to answer some questions from my followers and subscribers about my journey over the last 10 years. So let's go. I thought I would start with a fun one. What's going to be my first big purchase as an attending once I get my first big paycheck? Now, for those of you that don't know, when you go from being a trainee, like a resident or a fellow, to an attending, your salary is going to increase significantly. Anywhere from 4 times to even 10 times, depending on what your specialty is. Now, in my case, I've kind of already made that big purchase. I'm going to be going on a trip to Europe in July to celebrate finishing fellowship and my medical training. I haven't technically received my first paycheck for my attending physician job, so I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I guess I'm sort of borrowing from my future self on that one, but stay tuned for a video on that. And if anyone out there watching this video is from London, Amsterdam, Utrecht, Bruges, or Brussels, be on the lookout and say hi if you see me. Now, someone else asked about work-life balance in medical training and whether you lose it. I certainly can attest that it becomes a lot harder to maintain balance in your life for several reasons. The main one is simply the raw number of hours that you have to work, which naturally gives you less time to do other things. You can sometimes work up to 80 hours in a single week, but at least in my experience, that's not the norm for a lot of residencies. It varies by specialty, but most specialties will still be working a lot, at least 60 hours a week. And the other challenge of your schedule is that you work weekends and nights, which can make it hard to attend certain family events or gatherings with friends or other obligations. You're simply often working when others are off, so that makes it harder. But it doesn't mean that you can't do anything, it just means you have to be more intentional about your free time when you have it. Sometimes you might have to stay awake after a night shift in order to hang out with your partner or your parents. You might have to decide between catching up on a show and going out to dinner with friends. In my experience, you start to find a routine even within a crazy schedule, and once you do that, you can schedule activities a little bit easier. From my own experience, I can assure you that I did plenty of fun things when I was in Chicago for my residency and here in St. Louis during my fellowship training. I got engaged, I got married, I had a baby, I watched countless movies, I went out to eat far too many times, I caught up with old friends, I made new friends, and I started this social media platform. So you can definitely find free time and you can definitely make use of it. Now, the third question I got is one that a lot of people asked. Was it worth it? And would I do it again? Now, this is an interesting question. I think there's 2 ways to answer it. For me, it's impossible to fully answer was it worth it, since I only just finished and I haven't really seen the fruits of my labor yet. The journey was absolutely worth it in the sense of the relationships that I've made with friends, colleagues, patients, my wife. If I hadn't gone through my journey, I wouldn't have had the life that I have now. So perhaps would I do it again is a more interesting question than was it worth it. If I was able to time travel to my 16-year-old self and give him advice knowing what I know now and how things turned out, I would absolutely tell him to still do it. Despite all the long shifts, the 24-hour calls, the stressful ICU days, the 12-day work stretches, I would still recommend doing it again. Being able to learn so much and be able to participate in such a crazy but exciting field is just something that I wouldn't want my 16-year-old self to pass up on. But if I were to say move to a new country and be told that the only way that I could be a doctor again was to start over and do my residency and fellowship again, now, I don't think I could do that personally. Too many ups and downs, too much time, too much stress. There are amazing people every day doing that who are coming to the US from other countries, and I've worked with a lot of them, and I'm so impressed with them being able to make that sacrifice, but I'm not sure that I'd be able to do the same in their shoes. I'm incredibly proud of what I've accomplished over the last 10 years, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I've had, the patients that I've treated, the doctors that I've learned from and worked with, and I'm so thankful for the experiences outside of the hospital and the family that I've gained along the way. I certainly wouldn't have it any other way, but ideally I don't want to be faced with having to do it all again from scratch. Not everyone is going to feel the same way about their medical training, but those are kind of my initial thoughts. It's crazy to be sitting here at the end of such a long journey and at the beginning of honestly an even longer one as I start my new job in August as an attending physician at a private practice, GI practice here in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm super excited to do it. I'm going to continue making lots of videos, hopefully some new content so you can meet the other members of my group, check out my new office. So please stay tuned for that. Comment below if you have any ideas for new content, anything you want to see or want to hear about as I make this transition from fellow to attending physician, independent physician. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some fun videos and subscribe if you're interested. Thanks.